and welcome to our weekend editorial review here on Star TV. I am Sara Camara, and joining me tonight is Suleiman Wan, freelance journalist with The Point newspaper, and he's also our guest for tonight. Suleiman, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Camara, for inviting me in this program. And greetings to the viewers of Star TV, and also the management, the reporters, as well as the camera personnel who is making us to be in this program today. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. That is Suleiman Wan, a freelance journalist with The Point newspaper, also a publisher. We will be discussing with him at the tail end of the program, but we also will be with him, throughout the editorial review of the major stories with Star TV. Well, first, the Office of the President has responded to Council Lamin Dabo via its social media handles following the Council's attempt to nullify the President's appointment of coordinators for Banjul and Kanifing municipality. For more on this, Hadijaju has the details.
The Office of the President noted and do appreciate concerns raised by Council Lamin J. Dabo, who described President Barrow's appointment of governors as unconstitutional. Lawyer Lamin J. Dabo said the recent appointment of executive coordinators or regional governors for Banjul and KM are unconstitutional. However, in a week ago, the permanent secretary at the Lands Ministry confirmed the appointments of one Bakari Singate of Dipakunda and Ibrahima Jao as executive coordinators for Kanifing municipality and Banjul, respectively. In his argument, Barrister Dabo said the appointments are blatant disregard for constitutionalism and that they were intended to display the constitutional regime of democratic governance at local levels. The State House has published that the President, by the powers granted to him by Section 80 of the Constitution, acted well within the legal framework in the introduction of the offices of the area coordinators in Banjul and KMC. This section empowers the President to establish public offices for the Gambia, make appointments and terminate them, subject to the Constitution provision and Act of the National Assembly. The President exercised this authority by signing an order duly gazetted. The State House further stressed that Mr. Dabo's article unfortunately interprets the rationale behind the creation and subsequent appointment of executive coordinators by His Excellency, the President, adding that the offices of the executive coordinators support the implementation of government policies in the regions. However, it is important to note that such offices have been in existence in Bakau and Banjul. For Star TV News, I am Hadijaju.
And that is Hadijaju giving us a report of that story, Suleiman. We've seen not long ago a pronouncement was made, by the Office of the President appointing, individuals as coordinators for Banjul and Kanifing municipality. But we also see the Council Lamin Dabo, responding, on newspapers that it is unconstitutional. But not long ago, the President office have also responded, to Council. What's your take on this story?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Camara, once again. And if your memory can serve you, at some point around 2022, the President made a pronouncement that he will appoint governors in the Kanifing municipality and in Banjul.
Banjul, exactly.
Yes, but there were so many counter, that were made by political activists, opposition leaders, who said that is unconstitutional. But at some point, the President did not speak about that. He was silent with regard to appointment of governors, in Banjul and KMC. But recently, he came with another, step, that is to, appoint governors, how to call it, coordinators within the two municipalities. Well, in my view, the President realized that appointing governors within these two municipalities is unconstitutional. Is that why he decided to change and then name it coordinators? So, well, I understand that the legal luminary, that's Council Lamin Dabo, also countered the State House, saying that that is unconstitutional. But the President of the State House also came with another statement saying that it is constitutional. Quoting Section 80 of the Constitution, saying that it gives them the mandate, it gives the President the mandate to appoint public, to appoint people in different, any place where they want.
Yeah.
Well, but my view in this is, why should the government have regional coordinators if the president if we already have mayors within these two municipalities?
Yeah.
Yes, I think there's a problem between these two municipalities and State House, because I believe there is a problem between these two institutions, because these two municipalities are led by opposition leaders. That is the United Democratic Parties. You see, that's the mayor of KMC, Talib Ahmed Benzouda, and the other one is Rohimari Lo of Banjul. Probably, looking at the rivalry between the United Democratic Party and NPP,
and the NPP,
probably they could not work with the government.
Okay.
Yes, that's, in my view, they could not work with the government.
And the president wants to bring development.
And the government also probably want to bring development to these two residents of these two municipalities. So therefore, they deem it necessary to appoint regional coordinators to work with the government. Okay. So that's what I understand there.
All right. Now we move on to our next story. As you already know, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, Gambia Secretariat, held a press briefing to inform the public about the new development and ongoing project. Modu El Baji brings us more information on this event.
This ceremony brought together officials from the Office of the President and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to update the public about the latest development regarding the hosting of the 15th OIC Islamic Summit in the Gambia. During his statement, the Chief Executive Officer of the OIC Gambia Secretariat, Mr. Yankuba Diba, said since the founding of the Secretariat in 2018, the government of the Gambia, through his office and the relevant stakeholders, has registered significant progress in their efforts to organize a remarkable summit which the Gambia can be proud of.
Gambia is not an island, and issues happening around the world, particularly in the Islamic Ummah, are naturally bound to affect us. Considering the current Israeli aggression and violence in the occupied territories of Palestine, and the proximity of just concluded joint extraordinary summit of Arab and Muslim countries in Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the government of the Gambia, in consultation with the current chair, which is Saudi Arabia, the King Salman, and member countries, decided to push the date of the 15th OIC Summit in the Gambia to the 4th and 5th of May 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to emphasize that pushing the date ahead is not the same as cancellation. For purposes of clarity, the OIC Summit in Banjul is neither cancelled nor taken away from the Gambia.
The OIC boss attributes the adjournment of the December scheduled conference to the striking conflict in the Middle East, as Palestine is a member of the OIC, which is the second biggest global organization. However, the OIC CEO said their secretariat has generated a good amount of money through the conferences held at the OIC complex.
Our mantra is that the OIC summit will be meaningless if it is not linked to the progress and prosperity of all Gambians. That is why all our projects were strategically chosen and designed not only to provide a unique experience for the summit guests coming, but also to meaningfully transform the lives and livelihoods of everybody living in the Gambia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is along that line that I'm happy to announce that since our founding, the Secretariat has raised over $300 million from our resource mobilization efforts to improve the vitality of our national economy. Similarly, all our infrastructural projects have advanced in their implementation stages.
The construction projects of the OIC have led to many demolitions, especially in the Greater Banjul area, where property owners generate concerns over the issue of compensation. CEO Yankuba Diba set light on the said issue.
But compensation, as I am talking, is already ongoing. It doesn't come, they don't just compensate 100%, because government doesn't work that way. Revenues are generated, and then monies are given to ministries, and people are compensated, gradually. But compensation package is also running alongside the construction.
The adjournment of the 15th OIC summit will give room to the Gambia to complete its ongoing infrastructural development earmarked for the summit. For Star TV, I am Model Baji.
Real Baji reporting there regarding the OIC summit. Suleiman, we've seen the OIC summit that's supposed to happen in the Gambia. You know, every year it's been moved, all right? But I think finally, you know, it's settled for next year, all right? But we've also seen some ongoing projects, you know, which are currently happening in this country. But there are also some demolitions happening. And then we've had in the press conference, you know, they said that, you know, compensation, you know, is also, you know, ongoing to some of the demolition that they made, you know, but maybe it's not 100%, you know, but some people are being compensated, you know, regarding demolition that is coming, all because of the OIC. We've seen new roads, you know, being built, you know, uplifting the face of the Gambia.
Yeah, that was a very good report by El Bajide at the OIC Secretariat in Bijilo. Well, I understand that the Organization of Islamic Cooperation is supposed to have their summit in the Gambia since around 2019, but it could not materialize. It was pushed to, you know, around 2020, but COVID-19 hit the wall. Around
disrupt everything.
Yes, so it could not be held. From there, I think it was pronounced that the summit will be held in the Gambia in 2022. So that could not materialize, and now they are saying 2024 May. That's also a possibility in my view, because the projects, the OIC projects are still ongoing. Around 2019, when the government postponed it till around 2020, it was because the projects were not completed. Yes, looking at the road that link Airport Johnson to Steen Corner is still under construction. There are other roads also that are very important in the country and then sponsored by the OIC are still under construction. The electricity projects are ongoing.
But
so all those things
are all these things, can all these things finish, you know, at the time frame given? Right now, you know, we are in 2020. 2023 is already phasing out.
It's almost.
We are in November right now. And here we are saying, okay, in 2024 we will host. You know,
they are projecting that from now to 6 months later, the projects will be completed, and then they will host the OIC. But in my view, even that is, you know, is possibility. You know, because the projects are still ongoing, and there is high possibility that they will not be completed. And also about the OIC, you know, the Radisson Blue.
Radisson Blue, yes. It has not even started yet.
That have not been started. If they are to build lodge at the Radisson Blue Banjul, therefore 2024 is out of it. I'm not talking of 2023, but 2024 is out of it.
Or maybe they're going to bring Chinese who would, you know, just construct it within 3 months.
Well, even
fully-fledged hotel.
That will be difficult if they find very difficult to construct the 50-kilometer roads within that short period, let's say within 2 years, 3 years. They will also find very difficult to complete the hotel within 3 months. I don't think that's possible.
Exactly.
So the government saying, and the Secretariat, OIC Gambia Secretariat saying that it will be held the summit will be held in May 2024. Definitely, they need to work very hard, because looking at the roads, you know, project is still, you know,
still not completed.
Still not completed. The flyover at the traffic light has not been started. They don't reach to, you know, Steen Corner, other roads. You know, looking at the project around the camping area, those ones, the project have stopped. So all those things need to be considered. So for the government to complete everything and then go ahead with the summit, definitely, you know, the contractors need to be tasked. They need to speed up to complete the job. If not that, it will be virtually impossible for the OIC summit to be held in the Gambia in 2024. I believe the Gambia government, particularly OIC, need to, you know, task the contractors to work very hard. They need to monitor them. They need to, talk to these people to be serious when they work. This could have been completed earlier.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, and the other thing is what the OIC member state, what they're supposed to contribute. They don't contribute all those things because it's supposed to be about $500 million. Yeah. And they are saying that they only got $300 million. Probably also government is trying to delay to make sure that they get the other $200 million. All those things are possible. Yeah. But there is a need for government to be serious with this, and there is a need for them to task the contractors.
Yeah, double their efforts.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. As the harvesting season continues, our reporter Mbai Kaur joins the Sara Camara Association in a day-long groundnut harvesting exercise at Jinak Fonyi Bintan Karanai in the West Coast region. Mr. Kaur reported on the association's dedication of achieving their farming objectives.
As the slogan goes, grow what you eat and eat what you grow. We are here in Janak, Fonyi Bintan Karanai, West Coast, to witness groundnut harvesting on a 6-hectare farming field. Kusampul Kamarakunda Association is known for its dedication to agriculture, particularly the cultivation of groundnuts. Groundnuts are a vital crop in the region, providing both sustenance and income for the villagers. The association believes in power of collective effort and aim to improve the livelihood of its members through mutual support and cooperation. Equipped with their tools, the farmers began the harvesting process. Some use hoes to loosen the soil around the plants, whilst others carefully pull the matured groundnut plants from the ground. The farmers work unison, forming a harmonious rhythm as they move through the farm. Auditor General Kusampul Kamarakunda Association, Yaya Sanyang, seek help from philanthropists and non-governmental organizations. However, the Deputy Public Relations Officer of Kusampul Sonko Tambajiro, Jariyatu Sanyang, reveals why the two associations collaborate.
Because we knew we alone cannot do it. We might need support from the philanthropists. This is why we call on the media to come to disseminate the message easily and simply for us, so that the people that are not here, they will know what is our agenda and what are we aiming for, has for Kusampul Kamarakunda.
We came to see the ongoing harvesting through their invitation. We appreciated it and we are convinced of the collaboration between Kusampul Kamarakunda and Kusampul Sonko Tambajiro.
Secretary General Kusampul Kamarakunda Ansumana Tamba outlined the aim of the association.
Mutual support within the members, and to help the unprivileged families. Like this groundnut, the proceeds, after selling the proceeds, we are going to help the unprivileged families, like even families who have a disaster, like flood, fire disaster. We'll try to embark on that assistance.
Deputy Permanent Secretary, Minister of Agriculture, Bintu Gassama, alluded that the harvesting exercise will go a long way in contributing to national food security.
And I think what we see here today will go a long way in contributing to national food security and also in uplifting the income of the farmers, because, groundnut is food, but it's also a cash crop, so they can sell it and it can boost their income and reduce poverty and also, increase agriculture's contribution to the GDP.
National Assembly Member for Fonyi Bintan Karanai, Honorable Bakali K. Baji, expressed his joy on the harvesting exercise.
I am truly impressed with what I have seen, and I have seen that they are having a bumper harvest in the process. And that is truly impressive indeed. And this is something that is appreciated and something that we are going to encourage. And this is the way forward for Africa and for the Gambia at large. And there is no way out for the Gambia except this. Because looking at what we are able to export outside, in terms of foreign exchange, we could not have anything. In those days, We used to have groundnut export, which gives us foreign exchange. And through that foreign exchange, we are able to control inflation in the country.
The successful groundnut harvesting exercise was a testament to the power of unity and cooperation. The Sara Camara Association had not only achieved their goal, but had also strengthened the bonds within the community. The villagers felt a sense of pride and accomplishment, knowing that their hard work will benefit not only themselves, but also their families and the entire village. We've seen the harvesting exercise, see the presence of Deputy Permanent Secretary of Minister of Agriculture, the National Assembly member of Fonyi Bintang Karanai, and among other stakeholders. Reporting for Star TV News from Janak, Fonyi Bintang Karanai, West Coast region, I am Baikor.
That's our able reporter Mbai Kaur reporting all the way from Janak regarding, the bumper harvest, that the Kusampul Camara Association, got. I think this philosophy of, grow what you eat, I think, is a very good, example, from these people. They want to make sure that at least at the end of it, they fight poverty. And how do you fight poverty? Through agriculture.
That's a very good initiative, and the organization is doing a great job. This is what is expected to Gambians. We need to work in our country to make sure that we attain the sustainable development goals. Agriculture is the backbone of the Gambia. About 70%, I think, of Gambians depend on agriculture. So it's very important for the young people to embark on agriculture. Recently, I'm just from the rural area, and I'm also from a family that's
that farms.
That farms.
Are you a farmer?
I am a farmer and a journalist as well. I'm a farmer. Well, this year it's a very good news that we receiving bumper harvest. Across the set, cross-sex issues, how to call it. We have the millet, the sorghum, maize, groundnut, beans, everything is fine this year. But there is a greater need for the Gambia government to support farmers. They are definitely doing a great job because at some point I went with the Ministry of Agriculture on a tour. But when I was going, they told me that, Suleiman, people have been saying different things about the ministry, but you will see it with your eyes. I was impressed when I reached to Sapu, especially to the place where they have experts there, and then where they work on agriculture. So I was impressed with that. So, but there is a greater need for the government to invest more in agriculture, to empower the young people. Because definitely there are so many people who want to invest on agriculture, but there are some constraints, especially the market is a problem, one. The other thing is advanced farming materials. Looking at the organization, what they were using to harvest, they were using their hands to harvest. Do you expect these people to harvest, let's say, 100 hectares of land? They cannot do that. So definitely, the association,
as the slogan goes,
they're showing people that they are interested in agriculture, but also they need support. Government need to support them with seeds. Currently, I understand that the Ministry of Agriculture, through the Giraffe project, is supporting farmers with agriculture. Yes, but there is room for improvement. Government need to support
with machinery also.
That's it. So they need to be supported. If not that, agriculture is very expensive. Without advanced machines, they cannot do anything. Because we go to my area, people use machines and ox to harvest, but these people are using hands, in fact. And then they don't move even a step forward.
Let's look at the price of the groundnut. Is it encouraging? Well, at other sectors, you have people, these bananas, for example, coming to buy from farmers, taking it out of the country. For me, which I think, is not in the interest of the country,
Well, at this point, I'm not aware of government scheduling a price for groundnut yet, but I can tell you that Gambian farmers are never satisfied with the price of groundnut that the government is buying. Yes, they're never satisfied with that. I live in an area whereby it's about let's say, 25 kilometers away from the border with Senegal. Yeah. Most of our farmers taking groundnut to Senegal. The middlemen will come there, buy groundnut from them, and then take them to Senegal. Some people will buy groundnut here. Gambians will buy groundnut here and take it to Senegal because we are not satisfied with the price. Some people don't take it through the right channel.
Right channel, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, even Gambians who are selling groundnut in the Gambia did not take it to the cooperative.
Okay.
They did not take it to government. What they do is they take it to the Chinese who are buying groundnut in the Gambia. You go to the Sandika, the Serikunda Sandika. You meet a lot of people there buying groundnut. With all those things because they are not satisfied with the way government is buying the groundnut. Okay. You see, because sometimes you don't expect a farmer to credit, to borrow government groundnut. Yeah. The farmers, what they want is the moment they give you the groundnut, you give them the money. Because they depend on this money for survival.
On the spot,
They depend on this money to pay school fee for their children and also do other things. So there is a greater need for government to focus on agriculture. Okay. You see, 100%. Maybe other sectors can be compromised, but agriculture should not be compromised. It is the backbone of the Gambia. Without agriculture, nothing will work in this country.
Okay, we're now away from that story. The task force engaged in removing structures encroaching on the main public roads from parts of Brikama Market. Sara Camara provided detailed reports on the vendors' appeal to address their concerns.
As the operation continues in the administrative center of West Coast region in Brikama, the task force has spent almost 2 weeks to ensure that everything in the main road of Brikama is cleared, as requested by the government executive order. The initiative aims at ensuring the safety and efficiency of the country's transportation network. However, this did not go well with some local business entities, as they claim to be the breadwinners of their families. They call on the government to look into their plight. Farmata Sedi pleads for mercy and cries over the challenges she will face if removed from her current place, which she described as the only source of income.
My child came to my place asking for lunch to go to school. I asked, where will I get the money from? You are thinking of school, but I am thinking of how to provide daily meals for the family. All my living depends on this place, so if I'm removed from here, what will I do? I have been running everywhere to take care of my family's needs. If my kids are going to school, I need to spend $300 for lunch. Please forgive me. Let me stay here and struggle for my family. I will do anything you guys wishes, but please let me stay here.
Lady further reveals that she lost her husband and she is the only breadwinner of her family. Madimbai, a shopkeeper in Brikama Market, said they are suffering. He also pleads the government to help them reconsider their action, stating that his family is big and the shop is his only source of income.
I have 7 children. 3 of them are going to Arabic school. As I am talking to you, I didn't have face money. I didn't have anything. Please help us. We are suffering. I don't know why government doing this, but you should help us. We are all Gambians. We are appealing to the government to reconsider their actions because we are really facing challenges, and this is only the starting because I have only 500 which I should manage for 10 days. So if that money is finished, what will I do?
Mr. Mbai further emphasized that he agreed that some shops should be removed while some should stay, stating that his shop is 10 meters away from the road and it has been removed. Another shop owner, Lamin Jallo, said since he left Conakry to the Gambia, the only place he depends for a living is his shop, which has been closed and he is now jobless. Lamin pleads for the authorities to help them with another place where they can transfer their shops to be able to make ends meet. Meanwhile, as the operation continues, vendors in Brikama Market continue to cry for help and pleads for the government to consider them, as the onus of providing daily meals for their families lies on their shoulders. This government-sanctioned operation is expected to leave no stone unmoved in ensuring that desired objectives of removing the encroachment on the main highway is met with the support of the relevant stakeholders. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Sara Camara.
Very much, Sara Camara, for reporting on that news from Brikama. It's very touching. You know, the demolition exercise, of course, is taking a toll, you know, on many Gambians, especially vendors. Yeah, we've seen, you know, what happened in Brikama. You know, vendors pleading, on the government to find a solution to them, because that's what they use, to earn a living. And now the place that they used to earn a living, has been demolished.
Yeah, this is the first time the Gambia government is doing this. I cannot remember a time when a government do this kind of operation.
Exercise, yeah.
Yes, but at some point, the Gambia government announced that there will be an exercise. Such operation will be done in a month later. So they informed the vendors. And then it's a step in the right direction, because people find it very difficult to move around the town. And then people are selling everywhere. People find it very difficult to travel. Vehicles sometimes have accidents along the road due to this. However, the Gambia government could have find an alternative
for them
before they start this. Mr. Camara, I don't know whether many people are aware, but I have seen a market at Borsobi along Sukuta Turntable Highway. There is a market. It is a very big market, as big as the Serikunda market. What governments could have done, in my view, is to tell people that let illegal enclosures vacate to that market.
Give them stalls
before let's say a stipulated date. If they fail to do that, come and then send them from where they are.
Yeah, but these things, Mr. Suleiman, is it not the caused by municipalities, all right? Because these are vendors, who have been there for so many years.
Yes.
And then these are vendors who have been paying fees, Lansing fees, to municipalities, all right? And they've been paying duties to municipalities. Them being there, they thought that, it was right. As far as, I've been, paying, tax, to the municipality in which, I have been operating. Is this not, created, by the municipality themselves?
The central, the local government have failed the resident for the past 50, 60 years. Some people have been, sailing along the road for the past, 50 years.
Yeah.
And they have been paying to the local, to the councils. They have been paying to the councils, but yet there is no proper market where these vendors will go and sell. So it's like they have been cheated. They have been paying to council, and council have not done anything for them. You see? And now the central government has come with an operation to send them where they are. I have seen the chairperson of the Brikama Area Council blasting government for this.
Even threatening to go to court.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what you have to put into consideration is the council have failed these people. And what the government also is doing, I support that 100%. Though I have mothers, sisters, brothers suffering there, because some people depend on this for their survival, to pay school fees for their children, and for their medical service, and whatsoever. The list goes on. You see? But we need to develop.
Yeah,
the country needs to develop.
For sure.
We don't have to stay like this forever.
And we have to improve our infrastructure.
We need to improve our infrastructure.
Yeah.
So therefore, government we need to demolish. A time possibility of them being demolished. What happened is the projection of the PPP government was wrong. Maybe around 1965, they were not thinking that in 2023, the Gambian population will be about 2.3.
Yeah.
They were projecting about the 300,000, the 30,000 population that they were having. So their projection was very wrong. That's what is affecting us. If we don't change right now, the Gambia will be affected in the future. The future generation will be affected. Because whatsoever we're doing today, we need to project 2050. What will be the population of the Gambia in 2050? But if you don't mind, the way the PPP government and the APRC government failed us, that's how we going to fail the future generation in 2050 or 2065. We need to project all those things. So the projection of our, let's say, our grandparents, our fathers was wrong. Therefore, we need to make sure that our projection for our children, the projection for our children, maybe in 2050, 2065, is not wrong. So we need to rectify ourselves as a nation.
Okay, well, just to follow on the same trend, where the Gambia Police Force has warned against occupying areas recently vacated due to ongoing road clearing operations. Hadi Jaju has the rest of the details.
This undertaking encompasses the removal of both permanent and temporal structures, an installation that violate regulations related to road safety and public order. The Gambia Police Force with partners was at Brikama for 2 weeks to continue this exercise. During the operation, a lot of people failed to comply with the rules and intends to return to continue their businesses in the same area where they have been asked to evacuate in order to avoid road blockage. The Deputy Police PRO, Cadet Assistant Superintendent Modu Musa Sisao, stressed anyone found wanted will be dealt with in accordance with the law.
We are going all out to ensure that everybody who has been removed from where you've been, if you don't move out from there or you fail to remove yourself from there, you will be arrested. And when you are arrested, you'll be taken to the police stations and statements will be taken and you'll be processed to go into court. That is what is happening here. As we are doing this, my team actually is part of the team that is more or less monitoring and also arresting people who fail to comply with the task force. So the Mane team is ongoing with the operation on the other areas that needed to be completed in Brikama here.
Deputy PRO Sisao noted that many concerns are being raised, expressing dismay and condemnation over the operation of the Gambia Police Force and partners on the ongoing exercise in the country. But for him, their position is clear when it comes to the operation.
It is sanctioned by the government of the Gambia, so actually the Gambia Police Force has nothing to say as far as the comments of the chairman of area council is concerned. What we do know is that we are part of a task force to ensure that we do our job, and our job is to enforce the rules and regulations and the laws in the Gambia. And this is what had happened. We've been doing this. This is what we have done in KMC, and here we are in Brikama, specifically in Brikama area council, in Brikama area per se. And what I would say is, as a police force, we don't owe it to anybody to respond to comments of people. Everybody is free to make any comments. The area council chairman is a Gambian like another person, and I'm sure not only him, many people have made similar comments. But what is important is that as far as the Gambia Police Force is concerned, and also as far as the task force is concerned, we are continuing what we are doing, and we hope to do it as it is dictated, and we are doing it as per the regulations.
Moreover, the exercise proved to be popular in the country, as many people have had their daily financial activities halted by the exercise. On the other hand, many are with the view that the operation is long overdue. For Star TV News, I am Hadi Jaju.
That was Hadi Jaju reporting for Star TV. We've seen demolition exercises taking place. But the funniest thing is, they demolish, and in some areas, people are coming back to occupy the same spots, they were occupying before they were demolished. And now the police is saying, if they found anyone wanting, you'll be arrested and then taken to the police station.
Yeah, this is a task force that was established by government. And the Gambia Police Force is there to enforce the laws. So now, these people have been driving from the place where they were selling, and some of them are coming back.
Exactly.
So the police is also saying, whosoever is found there will be arrested and prosecuted. That's what the Gambia Police Force is saying. But what happened is, there are some people, as I said earlier, who depend on these stores where they are selling. That's where they work, put food on the table for the survival of the families.
Exactly.
So now, if you are sent away from a place where you were earning for survival, and then your children at home sitting without eating, probably others are not going to school, you would like to sacrifice to come back to that place and sell, even if you will be arrested.
Even if you are caught.
That's what is happening. All these there's a mistake. The task force made a mistake when they round the table and then making a decision with regard to the demolition.
Yep.
They could have put an alternative in place.
Yeah, and I think there should have been, solution first, put, all right? This is the operation that we're going to get. But let's look at what are the repercussions, of this, operation, all right? Because we know a lot of people, depend on this, for their living, for sustainability. So in order for us to also help them, what solution are we going to put in place? Give them those solutions so that at the end of the day, if they remove here, at least they have solutions elsewhere. You've talked about the market at the Bruceby,
yes.
Which is a very, very big market.
Yeah.
And I think stalls should be allocated there. But sometimes what happens is, before you get a stall at the market, you have to, rain fire.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes.
Because these stalls are also very, very expensive. You see to it that they will give you the stall, you will also end up, renting the stall to someone else at a very expensive, rate. So that you can also have the profit, then you also pay the municipality also. So which I think, is not justifiable. Just look at a mere vendor, who don't have money to, pay for a stall that costs $20,000, $30,000 every month. All right. How would you, expect that vendor to be?
Yes. There are institutions that are responsible for that market.
Yeah.
I think institutions like the Women Bureau is responsible.
Yeah.
And it's government that is coming up with this policy, or it's government that came with this policy.
Yeah.
But during the time when they were discussing about this, government could have, I don't know whether they included those stakeholders, the Women Bureau.
Okay.
You see, probably even activities, the civil society organizations should have been invited for them to discuss all those things. Because they could have project this, they could have think about this, what will be the repercussion, as you said. They could have put an alternative in place. That's if we send these people, let them go to this place. And also before going to that place, they could have assessed that place, they could have examined it and know how much is every woman or every vendor going to pay. If it is too expensive for a vendor who is at the street selling, they then negotiate and then reduce it. You see? So if a woman is told to pay, let's say $500 per month or $300 per month, definitely the person will try. But government made a mistake, in my view. They could have discussed with the Women Bureau, the civil society organizations and others, and they put an alternative. Make sure that whosoever is vacant his or her stall at the street, you go to that place as an alternative. But people are sitting at home now, they are not working. Their children are not probably eating. Their children are not going to school. Medical service is expensive. They are sacrificing to come back to their stalls and sell, even if they can be arrested. That's what I understand in this story.
Yeah.
Because looking at the woman at Brikama who was crying.
Crying,
a woman,
exactly.
50-year-old woman crying like this.
Yeah. No, imagine if that is the only woman, who is the breadwinner of that family.
Yeah.
And imagine if the kids are going to school, and now the kids can no longer pay their fees, can no longer get their books, can no longer get their means of transportation and lunch. Those kids are going to be dropped out. All right? And if they are dropped out, what is going to happen? The future of the Gambia is at stake.
Yeah.
Honestly, because these young people need to go to school. They need to be fed.
Yeah.
They need to be taken care of. All right. But the person who's supposed to do that right now has no means of doing it.
Yes.
Just because of he or she has been denied, something.
Yeah. Just as I said earlier, this is a good move. The government, what they're doing is a very good move.
Yeah.
And the demolition needs to take place. Without this government, if another government comes, it has to demolish. But alternatives need to be put in place.
Yeah.
I can give you a very short story. In 2020, during the COVID-19, I visited a friend somewhere else. I had a lady, a girl who was asking her sister, the market is going to be closed. And our mom is the one providing food, fares, and the other things for the family. How are we going to survive? I heard the girl talking about, speaking like that. You see? But with all that, the woman was going to sell, probably up to midday, and then go back home. That was better. It's different with a situation whereby the woman is asked to stop selling in that particular place. How are they surviving? Government should have think of that very well.
Find solutions.
The operation is fantastic.
Yeah.
Even I don't know whether you'll be surprised. Senegal emulated that within this short period. It happens in Dakar. It must happen everywhere for the world. The world is, is advancing. It needs to work, but alternative
has to be provided.
Need to be put in place.
Okay.
If not, that someone somewhere else will suffer a lot.
Okay. Well, the National Assembly of the Gambia has commenced its fourth ordinary session, focusing on the government's total revenue and expenditure estimate for 2024. Maria Madam brings us the latest updates.
This is the fourth ordinary session of the National Assembly in 2023, also referred to as the budget session. The Friday sitting, which witnessed the tabling of the 2024 budget estimates before the National Assembly, is in accordance with Section 152, subsection 1 of the 1997 Constitution, which dictates the President to instruct the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs to prepare and submit to the National Assembly at least 60 days before the end of each financial year. The move is also in line with the Public Finance Act 2014. According to the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Honorable Sidi Keita, government's total expenditure and net lending are projected to increase to over $39 billion in 2024. This is mainly caused by the debt interest, which is likely to surge by 76%. However, personnel emoluments have been revised in 2023 to take into account adequate adjustments relating to unplanned recruitments.
Total expenditures and net lending are projected to increase slightly by 6 percentage points, rising from $37.15 billion to $39.38 billion in 2024. This increase is mainly driven by increase in debt interest, which is projected to increase from $2.9 billion in 2023 to $5.9 billion in 2024, an increase of 76%. Personnel emoluments expenditures are also projected to increase from $6.1 billion, revised base value of $6.7 billion in 2023 to $7.43 in 2024.
On goods and services from the use of both donor and government resources are projected to be at $9.84 billion in 2024, representing 1% decrease compared to 2023. Similarly, capital expenditures are expected to decline by 12%.
Decline in the budget for both goods and services and capital expenditures are associated with the decline in project grant disbursement from 2023 to 2024. This is mainly explained by the over-projection of project grants, which has been largely corrected for in 2024. The largest allocation of the expenditure budget, apart from the debt service, which consume about 26% of the expenditure budget, is to education. And the combined allocation to this sector, both the highest basic education and higher education, comprises more than 15% of the expenditure budget.
Subsidies and transfers, which include subventions, are projected to increase by $599 million to $4.96 billion in 2024 compared to $4.34 billion approved for 2023.
This increase is partly due to the increase in subvention for the GRA on the backdrop of anticipated higher revenue collections, Ministry of Health, hospitals, schools, GBOS for the national census, and the inclusion of new subventions to MCC Compact Coordination Office, Victims Commission, SOE Commissions. Input subsidies for fertilizer also increased by $100 million.
However, goods and services from domestically financed resources increased by 34% from $4 billion in 2023 to $5.48 billion in 2024.
Significant increase in goods and services is as a result of the increased funding for land compensation for roads and Nawek solar power project, post-OIC activities, travel expenses of the National Assembly, and the consultancy service related to public works. Furthermore, the contribution to the Gambia River Basin OMVG of $150 million and the hospital drugs of $240 million are also contributing factors. Overall, capital expenditure, including donor funds, is expected to decrease by 12% to $11.76 billion in 2024, mainly as a result of projected decrease in project grants disbursement. However, government funding of infrastructure and related investment is projected to increase by 30% from 2.5 billion in 2023 to 3.26 billion in 2024.
Overall capital expenditure, including donor funds, is expected to decrease by 12% to $11.76 billion in 2024, mainly as a result of the projected decrease in project grant disbursement. However, government funding of infrastructure and related investments is expected to increase by 30% from $2.50 billion in 2023 to $3.26 billion in 2024. This includes anticipated payments for ongoing infrastructure works, including relocation of services and related works. Debt service interest payment is foreseen to be $5.11 billion in 2024 from $2.19 billion in 2023, representing an increase of 76%. According to the minister, the prevalent debt service interest payments plus foreign amortization is projected to reach $7.49 billion in 2024. The increase in debt services for 2024 is the result of the large increase in interest payments due to the increase in the MPC rate to a high of 17%, which translates to higher interest payments on the 30-year bond and other domestic debts and the anticipated rollover of other government securities. It is also worthy to note that the 2024 budget deficit will be financed mainly from domestic financing and borrowing from development partners. In a sense, the gross deficit is estimated to reach 2.55% of GDP compared to 3.59% of GDP. This is a deficit reduction of 29% from the 2023 budget compared to the 2024 budget. Meanwhile, after tabling the 2024 budget estimates, lawmakers will go on a 4-day retreat to scrutinize the proposed budget. Mariam Adem reporting for Star TV News.
Well, the Gambia has seen a concerning increase in premature birth. To address this issue, the Gambia Doctors and Nurses organized an awareness event at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. Mbai Call reports on this initiative.
World Prematurity Day is observed every year on November 17 as concerns of premature birth and their families are significant. Premature births can lead to long-term intellectual and developmental disabilities for babies. These are problems with how the brain works. They can also cause a person to have trouble or delays in physical development. Therefore, the need to raise awareness and start the conversation resolving around it cannot be overemphasized. The theme for this year's commemoration is Small Thing, Big Impact, Kangaroo Mother Care. Deputy Chief Medical Officer at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Dr. Abubakar Jain, in his welcoming remarks, shed light on prematurity.
Prematurity is not a disease, but is for us, it's quite a condition for us to do. There are so many things we should do to make it a success, because you can see this handsome and beautiful kids that have grown up with the use of Kangaroo mother care. That technique, you'll be amazed to see how much effort these mothers have done to make these children to come to bear. It's amazing to know that they're very helpful health staff that have helped them through all those difficult times.
Premature babies are higher risk of developmental problems. It is impossible for babies born at 23 to 24 weeks to survive, but they are at a greater risk of health complications. Many babies are born before 32 weeks, and those weigh 2.5 kg or less may need help in breathing. Consultant neonatological at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, Professor Augusta Ene, outlines the benefits of Kangaroo Mother Care on premature babies.
Kangaroo Mother Care, and the name is gotten from the animal kangaroo, which has a pouch, which it uses to protect the newborn baby, its newborn baby, and they are there in the pouch, sucking the breast. So Kangaroo Mother Care, apart from maintaining the body temperature of the baby, it also has the nutritional aspect. The baby is there in between the mother's breasts, so can suck the breast at any time, on demand, can suck the breast. It's also good to create bonding between the mother and the baby. And it has a lot of benefits. I just mentioned a few. It also helps the brain development, neurological development.
Approximately 900,000 children died in 2019 of complications of premature birth. Many survivors face a lifetime of disabilities, including learning disabilities, visual and hearing problems. Globally, prematurity is the leading cause of death in children under the age of 5 years. Sira Barry is a mother who experienced premature birth with twins.
waaw man suma doom yi suma si primature lañu woon bi ñu juddoo primature lañu woon waaye wax dëgg si lopitaan mi ngi doon toppatoo bu baax a baax tay mo dañ daan def booti kanam moom lañ jox kangourou dañ ko daan def suñu leen bootee da gis ne boot bu dafa am solo torop moo dee tax xale yi tàngoori yaram bi moo dee tax xale yi dañoo màgga dañoo teel a màgga am na solo am na njëriñ torop léegi ka maa ngi sant yàlla suma xale yi alhamdulilah rabbil alamin waaw maa ngi ñaan mboolem koo xam ne doomam primature lañ rek am na solo suñu la soo nekkee si lopitaan bi toppatoo da nga ko bootee booti kanam am na solo torop loolu mooy dimbali xale bi.
The day-long awareness event on the rise of premature birth in the Gambia, organized by the Gambia doctors and nurses at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul, was a resounding success by bringing together healthcare professionals, families, and the community. The event created a platform for dialogue, education, and collaboration. It is hoped that this will effect change, leading to improved support system, increased access to equal healthcare, and a reduction in the prevalence of premature births in the Gambia. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Baiko.
Thank you very much, Baiko, with that story. We just take a short break and come back. Tonight, we are honored to have Suleiman Wan, a distinguished journalist and publisher of the Development magazine. Suleiman will be joining us. This edition covers a spectrum of developmental topics, offering independent analysis and expert opinion on various crucial aspects. It shed light on the country's economic landscape, healthcare, business, and more. Mr. Wan, welcome once again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Camara, for inviting me in the editorial review of Star TV.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Wan. First, you know, people need to know who Mr. Wan is.
Well, as we introduced, I am Suleiman Wan. I'm born and brought up in Changai Toro, in the Sami district, Central River Region North. I attended my school from Denver Low BC School, from there to Krantaba Opa, from Krantaba Opa, went to Amitis New Secondary School. A few years later, I joined the media when I was taking a course at the Inside Training Center, at the same time working with the Voice newspaper as a trainee in 2013. From there, take a break for a little bit, and then came back in the media and continued from the Voice. From the Voice newspaper, I worked with the Monitor newspaper that was run by a veteran journalist, Boubacar Sisi. I also worked with the New Day, because New Day was established by Adiamo, who was running the Today newspaper. I worked with him for a while. From there, I went to the Point newspaper in 2020. Since then, I have been working with the Point newspaper, and also I also freelance for Mamus Media.
Mamus, yeah.
Yes, it's an online media based in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, so I work with him with my editor, Cherno Omar Bob. Yes, from there, I also registered a magazine called the Development magazine. The Development magazine is a media company that aims to promote, popularize institutions and individuals, as well as boost visibility of institutions.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, the development magazine aims to promote a positive image of the Gambia and her people.
Okay.
Basically, that's what we're doing. We also publish other stories like economic analysis, we have health column, we have infrastructure, and other issues in the development magazines.
Right. So just quickly highlight, some key issues, articles or topics, covered in the latest edition of the development magazine and why they are crucial for the readers in understanding the Gambia's developmental landscape.
Yes, let me go back a little bit. The magazine was registered in 2019,
yeah.
And we started work proper around 2020.
Okay.
So we have 3 editions.
Yeah.
And every edition we just look at, we cannot publish everything, but we just look at key issues of the country and then we publish it. And our key point is the economic. Since the establishment of the magazine, that column is consistently coming in the magazine. So we publish about the economic of the country in 2021. We also published about, we had a health column, we have entertainment column, where we featured Yasin Jao, we have a political column, where Dr. Tangara, Minister of Foreign Affairs, was featured, and a youth column, where we featured the NYSS, among other things. So later we also have another column that was in 2022. We published another magazine where we have the first first Gambian ECOWAS president, Dr. Omar Toure, was featured on this magazine.
Okay.
We also have business column where we featured top 3 solutions. We have tourism column where we featured the OIC project, especially the Radisson Blue Banjul was featured there. From there, we have economic column.
Okay.
Yeah, we analyze the economic of the country, how it is going, so we publish that. We also publish we feature veteran Gambian artist, that is Jaliba Kuyate, in the entertainment column.
Okay.
So there's another rising politician who is coming up. We also featured him on the political column. So that's how we evolve.
Yeah. But how do you select, these topics for publication? How do you go about it?
Yes, and what happened is this magazine is established by me, but I work with various Gambian journalists.
Yeah.
And the objective is, what I said earlier on, is to boost the positive image of the Gambian people.
Yeah, because just seeing the content right now,
yes.
Just seeing the content of the magazine, we've seen where you feature JAR Group, you also featured, GAT Global, you featured GRA, you also featured Gambia Economy, you also featured Taft, you also featured renowned Gambian journalists, that is Musa Sise. You've also talked about the Soil Solutions, Fortunato Hero Awards recognized. You also talk about diabetes. We also see you featured Alaji Manka, as he is named among the 100 most influential, young African leaders.
Yes.
You also talk about, up-training 30 women, on food processing.
That's the agricultural column.
Yes, exactly, on the agricultural column. And then you also talk about Gambia immigration generate over $100 million.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, what happened is, as I said earlier on, the magazine is established by me, but I work with very intelligent people in the media. They are from different media houses. And also, the objective of the magazine, as I said earlier on, is to boost the positive image of the Gambia. Africa, we have a problem.
Yeah.
When you look at the world, how the media is working in the world, you go to America, they have a media house that is publishing positive image of Africa, of America. You go to the CNN, you go to the UK, we have BBC there.
Yeah.
You go to France, we have France 24. You see. You go to the Arab world, we have Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera, yeah.
Yes. So unfortunately, Africa, we have that problem. That I cannot solve. It's a concern, but I cannot solve. In the Gambia, we have that. So now, we have seen people who are doing a great job in the country. We also have seen development in the country, but it's hardly featured. You only see negative aspect of the society.
People writing about negative things. Only.
Sometimes even me,
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do because I write with different media houses and then I have been writing critical stories. But it's very important sometimes.
Yeah.
You write a story that will impact the life of people. It's important.
Yeah.
But for us, as a magazine, we have an independent editorial policy. And the editorial policy is to boost the positive image of the country and her people. So now, we decided to do that, to look at the positive aspect of the Gambia, the positive aspect of some individuals, and then feature it for people to know the good job that's happening in the society.
Yeah.
So we, in this edition, we have on the front page, we have JA Group. JA Group is featured on the front page.
And
From there, we have GACH, we have GRA.
And we've seen at the back page,
yes,
where we see JA Oil.
Yes, you know what happened is, we need to admit a fact, we need to admit the truth, and also we need to recognize the effort of people. I have never sit down with the CEO of JA Oil, that's Hamidou Dia. But I have examined, I have made my own research about the company. And then I realized the company is doing a very good job. And then if you are to feature development, you cannot leave this kind of people behind. So is that why we deem it necessary to feature JA Oil, JA Group. You understand JA Group employ about over 300 people in the Gambia.
Yeah.
It pays tax from 65 to 70 million per month. So you see, this kind of people, you're going to exclude them in development.
For sure.
So is that why we put them in our business column?
Yeah.
So from there, we have, they're contributing in development in all sectors. We have JA Water, we have JA Financial, which is coming up. We have also, they're producing, cement, we have gas and other things. So we feature them. So from there, we also have GACH Global.
GACH Global.
Yes, this also is a very important.
It's a very key player in
national development.
National development, exactly.
And also we featured him in the entrepreneurship column. And this magazine is structured in a way that anyone who reads this magazine, you see yourself there. Because we have entrepreneurship column. If you're an entrepreneur, you read the magazine, you see yourself there. So is that why we feature their GACH, how GACH was established, the objective of GACH, the role he's playing to the national development. That's what we featured there.
Yeah, I've also seen you featured,
Yes.
A lot of Gambian companies.
Yes.
And then you've also featured, Eye Care Optic. Eye Care Optic, is in the Gambia.
Yes.
Is also owned by, an Indian man. All the way from India, establishing, here in the Gambia. Why do you feature Eye Care Optic?
Yes. Eye Care Optic is a key partner to the development magazine.
Okay.
It was featured in our second edition and in the third edition.
Okay.
We have recognized the job they're doing.
Okay.
We realized that within this 1 year or 2 years, they have employed some young people. They cut down, they scaled down the price of glasses.
Lenses.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other medical service, like the eye examination, you see. So we realized that they're contributing immensely to national development. We decided to feature them in the magazine.
Okay.
We have seen their products. It's cheaper than other people. We have seen them offering free medical examination. We have seen that. And not everyone is doing that. We have other clinics here who are not doing that. So if they are doing that, automatically the development magazine have to recognize them and feature them. We don't just look at any person and then we feature in the magazine. We look at the job you're doing.
Okay.
And then tell the public, this is the job Sara is doing. He's contributing immensely to national development. We portray the positive image of your company. That's what the development magazine is doing.
Okay.
So looking at ICAO within this short period, they have 4 branches, one at Safedin, one at Senegambia, Brikama, and Basse. The people of Basse were not expecting this. When I went there for the inauguration, they told me that they have never expected such a facility will come to their doorstep. It is there now. The people of CRR, the people of Basse, as far as Tambacounda and other part of Senegal, instead of coming to Banjul or going to Dakar, they go to Basse. So you see the development he is contributing. So we deem it necessary to feature him.
Okay. What challenges or opportunities have you encountered, while running, the development magazine, particularly in gathering information, engaging with contributors and stakeholders? So what are the challenges and opportunities?
Yeah, well, in every job, there are challenges. This is a 48 pages magazine. And people don't write and give it to us. What we do is, we look at a particular area, a particular sector, a particular person, we write about you, and then publish the magazine. It needs human resources. I am working very hard on this, but I am not alone. I have a guy whom I work with. I have editors who edit. I have designer who design. We also have, we don't have a printing magazine.
No.
We go to printing companies for the production. So this is very expensive. It is expensive and also intensive job.
But at the end of it, do you gain something from it? Do people buy? Do you sell it, or do you just give it out?
Yes. For the meantime, we are not selling the copies.
You are not selling it for the meantime.
We are not selling the copies. What we do is we produce copies.
Okay.
And
take it to ministries.
We distribute them to public institutions, to private institutions, to diplomatic missions, civil society organizations, and to the greater general public.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just look at you, we give you a copy. We just go to your institution, surprisingly, we give you a copy.
Okay.
Even if you are not featured in the magazine. That's what we are doing. We also have a website, but right now we are expanding it. There are other things that we are doing. But we have a website to make sure that people who are not in the Gambia, like the diaspora, can follow us online. Someone in Basse or in the Central River region where probably the copies may not be distributed sufficiently. We distribute there, but it's not sufficient there as the Greater Banjul area. So those people can follow us online. So we still have challenges with that website. But in any job, there are challenges. And we value the contribution that some Gambians are doing. That's why we are portraying them. Okay. We portray the positive image of their companies and themselves, and also the positive image of the country. And we could have just sit down and seen people, they do whatsoever they want to do without portraying their images. But as Barack Obama said, you don't have to be wealthy to contribute to national development. We started this. I just sit down one day and then think and say, I need to initiate something. I came with my own initiative. And I brought my own name, The Development, because it's only about the development that we are writing. Yeah. You see? So we working. And we want to work with every Gambian who want to boost the positive, how to call it, visibility of his company.
Exactly.
You can work with us. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Lastly, what time is against us? What message do you have, for the audience who are viewing Star TV and who are, just seeing this magazine, for the first time?
Well, we're telling them that if they want to know whether there's development in this country, let them get the development magazine. Probably you see something that you never expect, is happening in this country. Exactly. Looking at GRA, GRA remains key development drive since 2017. No one gave us this article. What we did is we monitor their development since 2017 to 2023, and then we populate it. You see, so we also look at the challenges that they have. We populate it. It's going to them, so they will see the development that the achievement they made. They also will see their constraints. So you come to the economic column. We have Gambia's economic growth to 5.2%. So we covered the report, the Central Bank of the Gambia Monetary Policy Committee report. We covered it, and then we try to, we look at what they publish and also how the economy of the country is going, and we look at experts' observations and others and publish in the country, in the magazine. We have the revenue generation, we have domestic debt, banking performance, economic experts, all those things are in the magazine. If you want to know about the economy of the country, read the development magazine.
Okay, well, time is again, so thank you very much, Suleiman. Yeah, thank you very much for coming to the editorial review on Star TV. For diverse insight into Gambia's development landscape, you should grab a copy of the development magazine. It encapsulates informative stories, analysis, and advertisement that cater to various sectors and businesses in the Gambia. Well, viewers, we've come to the tail end, to the end of the today's tonight's edition of the editorial review. It was me, your presenter, Sara Camara, alongside Suleiman Wan, who have been my guests and who have been very, very supportive also, in doing the review with me live here on Star TV. So we say bye to all of you out there. Thank you for joining us tonight, and stay tuned for more updates and discussion in our future broadcasts. Bye from us.